Lori, make sure you add that question into the Q&A so I can add it to my list. Wait till you guys see, they are beautiful. They are beautiful indeed.
Tawana,
Yes, ma'am.
you're going to kill me. We weren't recording.
Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
It is terrible. If there's any way we can get Barry to redo like 5 minutes of his presentation for the recording, I'm so sorry.
That is our CEO is fired.
You're right. I really should be fired. Yes. I apologize, Barry. We were not recording. So if there's any way for our replay, if you can just do your 5 minutes again, just your brief, abbreviated, please.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, I can do that for you. So I'll just go ahead and show you the pieces real quick. This is the beautiful box that it comes in.
Beautiful box.
You'll see on the side there's like a red tab, a red drawer with a red tab so that you can pull the piece out. You pull the piece out and it comes with this beautiful branded terry cloth to just make sure that you're able to take care of the jewelry. And here's one of our top sellers. This is the beautiful pink with the Milanese band. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that's how that looks. And this is how it looks in the box. We also have a similar box. You'll notice it's cut in half, and this is for our Omega bracelet. And you'll see that it comes in a nice branded dust bag. So you just pull that out. You just pull the drawstrings, and then you have this beautiful twisted, rose gold. Also comes in gold. It also comes in silver tones as well. So this is a really beautiful piece, really simple, and it looks really good accompanied like with the watch. So some people wear it alone, some people stack it. I've seen people wear like 4 at a time. And then, some people might wear like a couple, on the same wrist as their watch. So this is, our signature bracelet collection that we'll also be building out even more. But this is currently the only one in the collection with 3 different tones.
Very nice. Beginning comments, that's beautiful. Very nice,
Awesome.
Nice, beautiful. Somebody said it might be a good Mother's Day gift.
Awesome. And then there's the one that I'm wearing right now, which is from the new collection, the Untitled collection. This is the silver and black face. It's a moon phase watch. It's a 40 millimeter watch. Just beautiful. I wear this all the time. This is a really heavy duty watch. Like, it's heavy duty in the sense of it being super sturdy, but it's not heavy on the wrist and it's not too bulky. Like, a big part of my design philosophy is to, just keep everything simple. So, you'll notice that even when you turn it sideways, like the silhouette is not super thick. It still has a decent size. And when it's on your wrist, it's just, it just catches eyes. So if you look a little closer, it's a black fan design on the, on the middle of the dial. And then there's a moon phase. So, there's 29.5 phases of the moon. And when you set the moon phase, when you get the watch, it'll always move at the exact phase of the moon, for the entire month. So that's, this is one of my favorite watches. This is the one I wear every day. And people love it as well.
Very nice. Yeah, we got that one in black.
Yeah, we got it in black. We have it in, we got it in, we got rose gold and blue. We're also coming out with orange. We're coming out with rose gold and green. We're coming out with a black one that's partially transparent. So it's black, but it's like clear rubber band, and a slightly clear like case. So it's just it's real, like we have so many styles coming out. I mean, I'm excited because it's like, like I said, being a watch collector, having like, 100 over the years, I haven't bought a watch in 4 years because I make all the ones that I like.
Right.
And it's so exciting. I saw you have a collection, like that's, it's no feeling better than seeing people doing what I used to do for other companies, which is collect out of my collection. So yeah, that means a lot, and I'm so excited to introduce some new ones, and hopefully they provide the same type of inspiration.
Wonderful. So before I start reading the rest of the questions, if you can kind of give us a, since our CEO didn't hit record, if you can give us 5-minute brief summary, how you got started. So everybody who already heard this, play along, right? Don't stop off because you still got to hear the answers to the questions. Play along. But then we'll get back to the Q&A.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Barry Marcel Benson. I am the founder of Benson Watch Company, also known as Benson by Marcel. I'm a former, well, I'm not former, but I'm an alumni of Morehouse College where I studied business. I took the traditional route. I went into, work in a corporate job after graduating from college. Coming from the family that I come from, that was a first. I was the first to graduate, the first to, to land such a career. And I thought that was the end all be all. After being in my career for some time, I realized that there was something missing. So, I started to do some self-examination and reflecting, and I realized that I had a void because I wasn't necessarily living a purpose-filled life. Like I was doing something that I was good at, but it wasn't necessarily something that was having a tremendous impact. And it was, I felt like there was a lot of me that I was just trying to fit in this, this small, space in life, this small circle called my job. And I decided that, I wanted to live a bigger, more expansive life, and I wanted to impact more lives. So, after just kind of thinking about some things that I was passionate about, I realized that watches was something that was, always a consistent thing. So, I quit my job one day. I walked into HR. I told them that, I could no longer provide my services. I left, and then that's when the journey began. I came up with the slogan that time should be spent doing what you love, as a play on the watches, a metaphor. And we would use the watches as a conduit to drive the message to the masses that time should be spent doing what you love. So this started off as a message that I was telling myself, to remind myself that, me quitting was not in vain, but it turned into a movement. And now, thousands of people have been impacted by the brand. And I'm getting, emails, texts, and calls all the time from people who are, telling their stories now, and feeling enough courage to, to get started in their direction. So, we're more than just a watch company. We're a company that inspires people to spend time doing what they love. And I would invite anyone who can hear me and see me to join the movement. We are all we have. I think that this platform has provided an amazing opportunity to leverage the community of people who, who already are interested in the product to, benefit in more ways than one. Yes, they get a beautiful timepiece, but now you also have the opportunity to grow as we grow. So I invite you to join the movement. I hope that everybody listening is inspired by this story and also goes on to do something similar in their life. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So let's go back to the question. So Chris says, wow, I was just looking at your site last night. I'm a big fan of Tally and Twine, but I believe in supporting others as well. So my question is, how is your watch better? How are your watches better than the competition?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually a friend of the guy. I actually know the guy that started Tally. We're actually in conversation about some things as well that I can't mention at the moment. But I will say that that is a great company. And I look at it as different, right? I know that it's, in business, it's always like, it's about competition. It's like, what makes sure, your piece better. But in reality, like life is about options. And there is space, especially in this, in this industry for us all to win. So what makes my pieces different, not better, is the simple fact that, you know, I'm using my story to inspire people to spend time doing what they love. I also have, you know, a very extensive experience in the space. I'm also, you know, a horologist by apprenticeship, so I can also make the watches myself. You know, I've spoken across the world at watch conferences, like I've spoken at Inhorgenta in Munich, Germany, just this past October. You know, I have connections with great manufacturers. We're also bringing our manufacturing to the United States, which will make us the first Black-owned company to do so. And you know, there's a specific aesthetic that that Benson offers that I just haven't seen yet, and I think that's like the you know, elevated minimalistic aesthetic, and it's you know, it's like I said, it's garnered, you know, a lot of attention. Like I said, we were recently named #7 on Town and Country magazine, you know, along the lines of companies like Rolex, Longines, Audemars, you know, some of the biggest names in the world. We landed at #7. So, you know, I could name a bunch of things. Obviously, like, you know, when it comes to products, it's all about you know, opinion. But I do believe that our company is one of a kind.
Very good. Eddie says, what separates Benson from the thousands of others, and how was the price point determined? So I think you answered that first part very well just now, but how did you determine the price point?
So when I was a kid, right, I told you I collected like 100 watches, and obviously, you know, between 7 and 25, you haven't made your, you know, you haven't made the most money that you're going to make. But I was always attracted to the most expensive watches, and I would go and I'd be like, I want this one. And you know, my mother would always be like, you better be rich when you get older, because there's no way that you're going to be happy, because the stuff that you want costs this much. And that kind of stuck with me. So I was just like, why does all the beautiful stuff, why does all the quality stuff have to cost so much? Like, is there a way to capture that aesthetic, capture that feeling, make people feel like they're, you know, living luxurious, but still offer, you know, a decent price point? You know, and from, you know, just from, you know, sitting with different manufacturers, I realized what it was. You know, some people are not as into some of the things that make a watch super expensive, like the mechanism. So, okay, you know, I can have a beautiful aesthetic, you know, that has a top tier design, but the inside of it doesn't have to, you know, cost $1,000, because this particular audience may not care so much about that, right? You can put a quartz movement in there. You can put a, you know, a quartz analog, a myota, you know, different types of movements. So I always wanted to make sure that there wasn't somebody growing up or somebody collecting watches or buying watches and seeing it and then feeling like they were priced out of it. So I wanted to just, you know, essentially just give more value, more, you know, design for less.
Yeah, you've done that, because that watch looks like it's $1,000 watch when you put it on your arm. Like, it looks like it was like big bank. Like, it really it really does.
Yeah, this is how, you know, this is one of them right here. Yeah. So.
Very good. So Anonymous says, and I think you answered this part, so I'll just read it all though, and then you can touch on that last part. What distinguishes you from the other watch brands? I think you covered that. But how are you hitting your target market? Do you have a general roadmap to acquisition or IPO?
Yes. So there's that's a two-part question. So I'll answer it. We're hitting our target market by being extremely diligent with our data. You know, we have you know, one of the best marketing agencies you know, working for us, and making sure that we're constantly testing, never resting on our laurels about what the data is telling us. So, you know, even when something is working, you know, can it work better? You know, is this audience the best audience? Are there more people out here like this audience? And constantly digging into the data, you know, in you know, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, SEO, always making sure that, you know, we are consistently in front of anyone who, you know, who crosses the path of the company. And, you know, and also spending a lot of, you know, money to get in front of people who've never heard of the brand. So, you know, that's one part. As far as, you know, strategy to acquisition, you know, fortunately enough, and, you know, this kind of goes to, you know, what I said earlier about when you take bold steps, sometimes things just fall into your lap. You kind of the next step is revealed to you. I really am a believer of that. So, after the program at Dartmouth, I also spoke at an event here in California. So this is back when I was living in Maryland. So I came to California to speak at an event in Santa Monica that a friend of mine was putting on. And I was just speaking about like email and building the email list and why that's important, right? That was like the big craze at that time. And there was a guy there, by the name of Mark Goldston. He's a famous psychiatrist, and he's also he was a hostage negotiator, and he's written like several New York Times bestseller books, right? None of that's important, but he embraced me, after I got there and spoke, and he was just saying like, I appreciate the passion and energy that you have about what it is that you're doing, and he's like, I think that there's somebody that you should connect with. So he introduced me to one of his friends, Michael Houlihan, which is now my mentor and advisor for acquisition. But he became my mentor, years before we even started to raise money. And now we're at the point where his value is truly necessary. So Michael Houlihan actually started Barefoot Wines, and they sold Barefoot Wines to Gallo wineries. And it was a nice acquisition. So he has, a successful exit and experience with courting companies and actually getting to the point where you can sell the company. So, the strategy, like I mentioned before, I don't want to say too much, but we are looking at combining with an existing minority watch brand. I don't want to, say too much because of, legal things, and essentially merging to make sure that we're capturing the entire minority market and then selling as a package to a larger watch company. So he's one of the brains, behind that. I'm also working with another mentor, Jillian Manus, who's, she was my mentor when I went through the NASDAQ entrepreneurial program. And, she took it upon herself to join the advisory board to also help with getting to exit. So I have some incredible people, on the board. We also have another advisor who's not an official advisor. So you won't this particular woman you won't see on the actual advisor portion of the campaign, but it's because she's working in a pro bono capacity. But she was a former general counsel at Movado Watch Group and has facilitated several of their exits. So we have a strong team of people who are familiar with getting the ball rolling, making the proper introductions, making sure that the company is following the protocol and checking off all the boxes to make sure that we're a great candidate for sale when that time comes.
Wonderful. Anderson says, how large is your manufacturing / engineering / R&D department?
It's not large at all. So right now, we don't have that within our company. But see, this is really great, right? Because this it's interesting that some of these questions are coming up because it's like, wow, these questions are right on par with like what we have going on. So right now we manufacture overseas. But another part of this raise is bringing the manufacturing to the States, but not only bringing them to the States, but the manufacturer that we'll be working with in the States, we will be paying to be exclusively manufactured, like the only product manufactured in this manufacturer. So essentially, like the move that we're trying to make is to become like a full in-house, brand. That does take it is a bit of a process because obviously there's revenue targets that they want to hit. So that's a big part of what we're doing. We understand that Black owned is one it's one, I want to call it strategic position, but it's inevitably created a strategic position because with the climate, people are just being a lot more conscious about where they spend their dollars. So you layer that on top of the company also having these pieces built in America. It introduces the company to a much larger audience. allowing us to compete on, multiple levels beyond just the minority target that we're currently serving. So, yeah, right now, but like I said, the manufacturing is overseas. However, like that manufacturing department will be taken over by the manufacturer here in the United States. They're already built out. They have about 20 people on their team. They can pump out about 500,000 watches a year. So the capacity for manufacturing is huge. And to be in a position to be exclusively made by those, by that manufacturer would really set us apart, not only from, other minority-owned watch companies, but, watch companies at large.
Very good. Crystal says, describe the technical properties of your watch.
Currently, we just have two. That's moon phase, Japanese movement, and then there's the moon phase. I'm sorry, there's the quartz Japanese movement, and there's the moon phase, which is also a quartz analog movement. Again, like I mentioned, these movements are what allow us to keep our price points where they are. We do have plans of introducing lower priced mechanical watches, because we have been getting quite a bit of demand from watch enthusiasts who want to see like an automatic, they want to see a diver watch. These are all, pieces that we will be rolling out, but still making sure that we're maintaining that super competitive price. So currently just the two quartz movements, but we will be, introducing some new movements down the road.
Kojo says, what is your operating margin? And then also, can you share a little about your team? And you talked a little bit about the team already. So if you want to just add any additional parts to that.
The margins are between 80 and 90%, blended, varying between the different collections. Our team is made up of 4 people currently. We have, 2 marketing people, Emily Bauer. There's also Steve Krakauer. There's Quincy Benson, who's my brother, who's running the fulfillment center. And then we have Laura Davison running customer support.
Good. Maria says, what year did you start the company? And besides Macy's, where else are you sold?
So the company was started, and you'll see on the campaign, in 2015. However, we didn't start making money until about 18, because I was working in corporate. And it was like, it was just a hobby, essentially. Like we were, I'm working a 10-hour, 12-hour job per day, and not really having a lot of time to dedicate towards it. But it was in the end of 2017, when I left my job, that I decided that I would do it full time. So it was really 2018 to now, is what I tell people. Like 2018 to now is when we were actually making money in the company. I'm sorry, what was the second part of that question?
Where else are you sold other than Macy's?
Right. So we're currently sold in Macy's, but we also have contracts with Gilt Group. We were in MGM, but we severed our relationship with MGM during the pandemic, because there were multiple things. Like there were closures with MGM, and then there were also people or personnel within MGM who left during the time. So the goal was to expand into all MGM stores, but the buyer who brought us in wound up going to another company, so a lot of those plans changed. We spent about a year chasing around the proper person to communicate these new growth strategies with, and we could never get a hold of anyone. And we saw a drop in the sales, and we were just like, well, why is this? So we had somebody go out into the field, and we realized that they actually moved our watches from being front and center, right, to being visible to people, to behind the counter. So now you have timepieces that are between $100 and $300 that are at the very end of your journey in the store. And it's just like, oh, this is the reason. Because if a person has already purchased their product or already has the decision for what they're going to buy, they're not going to spend an additional couple $100 at the counter,
right,
when they see it. So that was what caused a significant drop. And we were like, well, these pieces would be better served just on our website. So we decided to move on from them. However, we are also in talks with Nordstrom right now. We don't have any of that information on the campaign page because we're still in talks about how, what the rollout will look like. So that's also something that will be coming later on in the future. But we have not gotten contracts solidified with that yet. But we are having the conversation. So currently, Macy's is the only additional sales channel. We are starting in Guild Group, so that'll be 2, and then there's also our website, which is direct to the consumer.
Wonderful. Sarah says, what is your e-commerce model? In parentheses, she says drops, seasonal, reoccurring inventory.
It's reoccurring. We do have some seasonal, but what we've realized is that the best approach for seasonal to not interrupt any of the traffic or customers that we would retain from different channels is to have exclusive or seasonal releases at those places like the Macy's, the Guild Group, or the Nordstrom. So offering products there that are exclusively theirs, and they're not offered on our website. So that way the traffic is not, taking from the other. So it's like, if you want a purple, Benson, you have to go to bensonwatch.com. If you want the new, yellow and silver Phoenix collection, you'll have to go to Guild Group. You understand? So making sure that we're keeping different pieces at different sales channels, allow the traffic not to conflict. And yeah, so it's a combination of seasonal in other places and essentially evergreen or revolving on our website. Good. Or reoccurring on our website.
Sarah also said, I'm seeing several sold out items on the site. What does your production timeline look like to date?
Yeah, so we're actually April 15th, we're actually going to be starting a pre-order for all the sold out pieces, as well as introducing some new pieces. What happened, is just demand. It's a problem, but it's a good problem to have. I didn't mention this. We were actually on QVC and HSN. We made a television appearance on QVC and HSN, and that's what caused the watches to sell out so quickly. We weren't like, we literally got the call. They were just like, we love what you guys are doing. How would you like to be on the air? And we were like, yeah, so let's do it. We did it. And then, in seconds, pieces were selling out like that. And then we also got a lot of signups, from that television appearance. So it just caused us to sell out rather quickly. But now we're getting we've experienced a lot of growth during the pandemic and even more now. So it's like, we're starting to get a handle on, how many pieces need to be kept on hand, especially if we're going to be going out and doing television appearances, and getting certain publications. So, right now there's a 2-month timeline, on replenishment, but we are offering an incentive to people to pre-order. We're offering a pretty steep discount, and just being completely transparent, letting people know, like, hey, this is going to take a while to get to you, but because you're waiting, you will receive this this discount, and we have the margins to accommodate that too.
Very good. And I just want to add, so I already shared that I'm a consumer, right? I'm not an investor yet, but I'm a consumer. And I think I placed my first order around the holidays, and there were some delays. The customer service, and I'm an HR person by profession, so customer service is my thing, right? The customer service was exceptional. I kept talking about it. I think I even shared it on one of our lives here, because around the holidays, you had gift expectations, things were going to be delayed. And I never felt like you guys took that lightly. Like, you did everything I believe a company could have done to make it right. First of all, you informed throughout the whole process. Like, there were reminders it was going to be late. There were, apologies. There were discounts associated with being late. Like, I felt like as a business owner, you did everything right. And I could be super critical because, again, customer service is kind of my thing. Right. And I had zero complaints. And when that product came, I was like, man, this was worth the wait. You know,
Right.
and again, I have I'm not even an investor yet. I'm just sharing this with you guys as a consumer, right? So I have no skin in the game in this, but to let you know that from that standpoint, they got it covered. They really do. And it meant a lot as a consumer. It really, really did.
Awesome.
Let's see.
I,
Latrice says, who's your manufacturer for the watches?
so currently we use a manufacturer overseas in Hong Kong. It's the manufacturer that we use is actually not disclosed. We work with they have like these middle companies, which is also why we're bringing our manufacturing to the States. But they're the company's called Loyal Tact. Loyal Tact is the consulting firm that works with the factories over in Hong Kong.
Okay. Anonymous says, what's the name of the watch that you were wearing?
This is the Untitled. This is the silver Untitled silver tone or the Untitled black steel. So it has the black dial with the silver bracelet. So Untitled black steel is the name of the piece.
And Sarah says, you mentioned a marketing agency. What is your marketing overhead as a percentage of what your operating costs are?
The marketing overhead, we typically have about a 3x return. So that's including marketing fee and the budget for for the actual ads. So about a third.
Good. Dante says, can you share how you expect to go from 500K in revenues in 2020 to 8.1 million in 2021? Other than raising capital, what are the other strategies that'll help you hit that number?
Right. Great question. And this is something that has come up in the discussion. So it is answered on the site, but it is quite a bit of scrolling that you have to do to get there. So I will definitely answer it here. So when the campaign was created, right, there was we've been essentially working on this campaign for close to a year, behind the scenes with Republic, working with the accountants, working with the lawyers. And there was a preliminary deck that had to be submitted. This deck was submitted, factoring in an outside raise. This raise did not take place. So, that number stays on the website, but that's no longer the projection. The projection for the year is more like 1.4, which we are on track to hit. And that's without funding. That's without funding. That number, like I said, was including funding. So it was taking into consideration us having a much larger budget coming in 2021. But that didn't happen. But like I said, the new was 1.4. We are on track to hit that. We'll probably exceed that. Just kind of given the seasonality of the holiday season and a couple of other appearances that we have coming up this year. So to answer your question transparently, that is no longer the target for 2021. It's more 2022 after the raise.
Very good question, Dante.
Yeah.
Anderson says, do you outsource or manufacture your raw materials for your product? And if you outsource, are you keeping it in the Black community?
We currently outsource. As mentioned before, when we're bringing manufacturing to the United States, and the goal is to keep it within the community. It is a very, very, very difficult feat. Like it's nearly impossible for the entire process, to be 100% Black facilitated, because there's just certain spaces that there aren't any Black-owned factories that make certain things, like that certain like the hands or the movements at the capacity that we need them. So we are striving to be vertically integrated and to have all those things flowing out of the company, but something like that takes time. It takes a lot of money, But the goal is to ultimately get to a point where we can do that.
Very good. And for those of you who are avid followers of the 10K project, we oftentimes talk about leakage in the community, right? We talk about the fact that we want to buy Black, we want to support Black businesses, but unless we're opening those businesses that the Black businesses can utilize, they have to go outside of the community to get all the things done, right? And so this was a perfect example of that. So it's time for you guys. We got 112 people still sitting here with us. Open a manufacturing plant that Barry can use, right? Start learning about creating or making watches so that you can be the manufacturer of that thing he's needing. That's how we fill this gap.
Absolutely. And what you're doing is also like a huge part of that. Like you're bridging the gap, between people who, Black innovators who are creating these things and, allowing them to, allowing us to essentially work together, to create all the things that we say that we want, right? I did a study on the hierarchy of watch companies, and there's different types of watch companies. There's watches. There's what's called a mid-range. There's like a mid-tier luxury. There's entry luxury. There's high-tier luxury. Then there's like a super luxury, which is like Richard Mille, which is like 250,000 above, right? However, in this pyramid or this, hierarchy of watches, there's a ton of different houses of watches. And what these companies do is, they roll out their brand. Their brand has a finite life, and then, they kind of cap off at a certain revenue, and then they start, going off and buying like other watch companies. Now, this watch industry is a $117 billion industry globally. Huge opportunities still. And not a single company in any of those tiers are Black owned. Not a single Black owned watch company has been acquired, right? So when I go out and I speak to people, I'm like, this is not only, you making, a return on your investment, which the goal is that you will, but you are also like playing an active role in making history. Like Benson will be the first globally recognized Black owned brand that will be acquired, by a larger company, and effectively being able to push more wealth into the Black community as a result of them coming to your platform, like you setting out the opportunity for them to get involved, and and being a part of the movement to do so. So to me, it's investing is, yes, it's about a return, it's about an ROI. Let's be real, let's be about business. But the intrinsic value that it provides is priceless. Like the fact that we have something, we built something, we make history. And it's something that, that people around the world will be impacted by and inspired by, I think is like the true reward. So definitely kudos to you for providing this platform and also giving me the opportunity, to speak on it. I just wanted to make sure that I let you know that.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sally said, do you have to be an accredited investor in order to invest in this venture? No, ma'am.
Great. Yeah, great question, Sally. No, not at all. You do not have to be an accredited investor at all to invest. You can invest as much as you like, as long as they find it suitable for your net worth. So we're finding that most people are coming in at about $1,000, and there are some people that are going much further than the 1,000, doing 25 or even $5,000 or more. But to invest more than $2,500, you would have to update your net worth. They'll ask you questions about your net worth, and then they'll let you know, like, okay, well, based on your net worth, like, we think that this is the most that you can invest. So yeah. And I hope that,
and Sally, you can find that information. So when you go to any of the, Republic will have it. If you register, they'll allow you to put in your financial information, and then it'll kind of give you what your max or minimum is. And then you can also go to the SEC website, and they have a nice little chart for you to be able to use to determine
Absolutely.
where your net worth lies, and then what your maximums are from there. And we do recommend that you guys do that assessment, because that is the amount you can invest in a 12-month period across all crowdfunding platforms.
Right.
So you want to make sure you do, you know that number at least for yourself, so that you can budget accordingly.
Correct.
Very good question. Anonymous says, would I be able to share this site on my social media and solicit investors? So I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, you absolutely can, and it's actually they actually say that it's better that because it's a user platform, right? Like Republic is about the community, the users. It's about empowering you all to not only invest but to share and bring more awareness to this platform in which you can invest in companies like mine and other great ventures. So absolutely, you can you want to make sure that you're not saying I advise you to do this, but just sharing that you invested and that this is a great opportunity to check out. But you don't want to use language that puts you in a liable position where you're acting as a financial advisor. So you just want to say, hey, this is a great opportunity. I invested. I think this is something that you all may want to check out.
Yeah, very good answer. And we highly recommend that, right? If you have heard something today or saw something today that makes you say, this is something I want to share with my family, my friends, or my social network, then please do that. That's one of the reasons we highlight the founders, is so that as a Black community, we can rally around them, right? Rallying around them means we bring our whole crew with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Absolutely.
we don't want to come up on our own, right? We want to bring everybody along. So as I'm learning about these founders, I'm telling, my sibling, and I'm telling, and telling close friends. And so, you guys should be doing the same. That's how we lift them up, so that they can start, getting the things that they need to scale and grow the
Absolutely.
business. And ultimately, as an investor, you can get an ROI, right? If things go well. Okay, very good. So Anonymous also said, what is his plan for international marketing or sales?
Continuing to leverage social media and different influencers across the country. We actually are going to go pretty heavy with influencer marketing to enter, some of the different countries, because we feel that they have the, like a kind of a foot on the ground perspective. So not only will they be like, doing promotions on their site, but they'll act as ambassadors, working directly with the company, keeping us abreast of like what's going on in different communities within their countries, so that we can make sure that we're communicating to them, essentially like still giving our message, our mission, but through the filter of, what's generally accepted in those regions.
Very good. LaShawn says, it shows on your campaign you've hit your goal. How much are you raising?
So this is a great question, LaShawn, and this is something that Republic they're working on making a bit clearer. So I'll just kind of walk you through it. Every campaign on Republic has a minimum raise of 25K, right? So 25,000 is the amount of money that you have to raise, on your own before Republic, says, hey, this company is raising. Before they put you on the homepage, you have to go out and get your friends and family to give you 25,000, to get your campaign going. So it's highlighting that we are 300, something percent beyond that 25K goal. It's also saying between 25 and 250,000. So it's currently showing the max at 250,000. The reason that it's showing the max at 250,000 is because we, in order to get the campaign out, prior, in a certain time frame, we had to, sign off on the review of the financials. So when their CPA, did the review, we signed off. There's going to be an additional CPA that signs off in addition to the one who, who did the financials, that will then take the campaign to 1,070,000, which is the max for a CF Reg raise. So we're actually raising 1,070,000, and you will see that number change to 1,070,000, within the next week or so. But to answer your question, the reason that it's displaying like that is because they set the goal at 25K, but then there's a range, that you can raise, or a max that you can raise. And our current max is 1,070,000.
And so you're held to that 1,070,000 because of the financials that you supplied, because they were 20, or were they 2020 financials?
Right. Well, 19,
Okay.
2020 will be reviewed and uploaded, and then you'll see it change to 1,070,000. The absolute max that you can raise is 5 million.
5 million, right?
But that was recently introduced by the SEC. But that requires an audit and an additional process, and we will do that, because we are going to do another round, because that second round of instead of doing a Series A traditional lending, we'll do another round, but the buy-in will be a little more expensive, but we'll get that 5 million, and then that will take us to the revenue goals that we need to actually be acquired. So that second round is going to be critical as well.
Good. Okay, we've got a few more questions. Are you okay to continue so we can get them answered?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Elizabeth says, will you have a moon face watch for women?
Yeah, see, I like this audience, because I feel like it's weird. It's almost like, are
they in your head?
No, seriously. No, we have so it's actually this exact watch. It's actually this exact watch. The difference is that the face will be a little smaller, and we're also going to be adding some stones to our pieces. So we love the minimalism, but we're gonna be adding the option for for people to add certain stones to the pieces, like onyx, malachite, different stones, just to kind of give it a little color, a little more pizzazz. So we'll be adding that customization option, for women. But yes, the moon phase will be in a women's size.
Very good. Purple Lioness says, can we buy a watch actually made by you? I like that idea.
That is a great question. That is not something that's available right now. But who knows? It could be something that that comes down the road. But right now, we are not making them. If I did, it would be a pretty penny. It would be pretty expensive, because of the process that goes into it. But yeah, I did want to add one thing. So I do. I'm not. This is something that just came over me. So we have a red and gold collection that's on the website, and for everybody that participated today, tuned in, I wanted to add a special perk for people that invest, that's not mentioned on the website. So when you go to Republic, you'll see that you invested this amount, you invest at this level, you get a gift card, a discount, whatever. I want to make sure that everybody who invests here, because of what this platform stands for, can also stand with Tawana and be able to have the conversations, and be on the same level, and actually own a piece. So I have not done this, and I don't even know why I'm doing this. But everybody who invests here, and when you can invest, you can reach out to Tawana. She can compile a list. I'm going to send each person who's invested a free Benson watch.
Yeah.
So you'll get but it will be the red and gold. So it'll be the red and gold watch. So anybody who's who's on here now and listening, and decides to invest, they will get one of those.
That is sweet. That's what's up. See, y'all gotta hang with the 10K project, man.
listen, this is literally like, this is not. I have never done this before.
On the whim for real, because I'm sitting here
but-
thinking, how the heck are we gonna track this? But we're gonna figure it
Right.
out. We're gonna
Right.
figure it out.
Right. So what will happen is, I think the best way to track it is that if you're on here and you invested, you just simply, reach out to Juana and let her know, and then we can just, coordinate the names. You can also send the address, and we'll get that red and gold watch sent out to you.
Yeah, so I like that. So if you invest, send me, and the campaign's over in 24 days. So let's do this. Let's put a time limit on when they can invest to get this deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So put a time. So like, for instance, we had another person pitch, and their portal, if they invested within 24 hours, they wiped away the fees. So you can put a time frame on it, so it'll allow us to kind of track it a little easier.
Yeah. So we'll do 48 hours.
Okay, so that's enough time to do your due diligence, right? Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone who wants to invest 48 hours, what you're gonna do is send an email to info@the10kproject.com. You're gonna let us know that you invested in Benson Watch Company. We'll compile a list, and then at the end of the 48 hours, we will go ahead and send that list over. Not 49 hours, 48 hours, right? So that email needs to come, you need to invest, and you need to send that email immediately. I don't want to email next week, y'all, talking about, I forgot. Don't forget, this is important. Somebody's giving us, right? We talk about the seat at the table. When people give perks at the table, we need to be there to collect the perks. So
Absolutely.
I love that. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Awesome. So Purple Lioness says, do you ship to the UK?
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
So what we with the UK, there will be, like, if you order, there will be additional fees for shipping, just to cover the duties. But we do ship to the UK.
Perfect. Tiffany said, how much is the investment? Tiffany, the minimum is $250. You'll have to check the sec.gov website to determine what your maximum is. All right. And let's see. Oh, Philip says, I see, they going crazy in the chat. They go crazy in the chat.
Listen, so I literally, like I said, like, I think what led to me saying that was just the fact that, like, I felt so connected to, to this Zoom, because, like, the questions were great. Like, they were on par with things that we're already working on. So I'm just like, wow, like, let me offer something. So we, like I said, the red and gold watch is a beautiful watch. And
have that one. It's beautiful.
So I was like, you know what, just send them one. If they decide that they want to get in, send them one. And now, like, now they have something in common with you, and now they can understand what you were talking about, and they'll have it in person, and they'll really have a piece of the company, and can really speak to it. So
that is awesome. Yeah. I'm trying not to get sappy, but I just got a little tear at the corner of my eye. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, we got 6 more questions. I'm going to get through them. Oh, the people who dropped off early, they're going to be mad. They missed that announcement. Oh, they're going to be mad.
Well, look, are you reposting this?
Yes. So what we do is we'll put this in our newsletter. We'll put the replay in the newsletter until the campaign is over. So hopefully they watch the replay. I may post something in the site and say, watch that replay if y'all were here.
Yeah, maybe say like this. Say there's a little surprise in the replay if you if you listen.
Oh goodness. Okay. Awesome. Anonymous says, quick question on investing through the 10K project. Would I need to add more dollars to my initial buy-in to the project in order to invest in Benson Watch Company, since the minimum investment is $250 to start? Does the 10K project add to the total? So Anonymous, no. So I'll take this one. So, we are a community of investors, which means 10K project brings you all together, right? In hopes that you will be able to find a business that you can rally behind and add to your portfolio, right? We highlight Black entrepreneurs so that you can rally behind them, add them to your portfolio, right? So that you can start to close that wealth gap and earn some wealth for your family. at the same time, you're building up this Black founder so that they can grow and excel. And then we rinse and we repeat this thing over and over again, right? But your investment is your own, right? 10K project. Again, I'm not even an investor yet, right? So I'm gonna log on tonight so I get my other free watch. So there 10K project doesn't have any ownership in the founders that we bring as an organization. Again, Cherie and I, as the owners of 10K project, we may decide to individually invest in these companies the same way you do, but there's no agreement up front. Founders do pay a small fee to come and speak to our community, in hopes that they get the return on that investment, right? But there's no additional fees or anything. So your investment in any business we present is between you and that entrepreneur, right? You become an investor in their business. 10K has no involvement in that, other than we are truly the platform upon which the two of you meet and fall in love. That is our job.
Awesome.
Okay. How does the gold plating on the steel watch last? Is there a warranty on your products?
Yes. We replace our pieces. We guarantee they're triple plated on the 316L steel. So, I mean, I've had I've had pieces for 3+ years, and they never fade, never turn. And I'm pretty sure you can speak to that as well, with the pieces that you have. But yeah, it's solid gold, solid rose gold tone all the way through. You got the beautiful Benson logo on the back. You guys will see it soon.
Yeah, and I can say, the reason, so the untitled that you have on your arm, we bought that in black because a previous watch that we had that was a similar look had completely tarnished and faded, and it wasn't even wearable anymore from another, from another company. And so we bought that as a replacement, because we knew it would stand up to the test. So
right.
So that's the reason we bought the black instead of the silver, or the other was the rose gold color.
Right.
Yeah. Tamara says, so that's why I want to know Tamara asked in an earlier question, what was the vision of the company? And so she says, that's why I wanted to know the vision, because once you are acquired by a larger company, then we won't have a Black owned company. So let's talk about that, because that's come up in some of our other conversations when we talk about exit plan. Our community, we get real touchy when we talk about exit plan, right?
I love this question.
Yeah, because while we understand liquidity events is how we make money, right? It often means we are left now with a void in that sector with not having the black business owner there. So tell us your thoughts around that.
Yeah, so it's a great question, and it's definitely a hot topic, within entrepreneurship communities, within the Black community. And here's my take on it. Right, we started at a disadvantage, obviously, right? Like, our wealth pales in comparison to other minorities and definitely our white counterparts. The way that we combat that is to build wealth, right? Wealth is built through investment, acquisition, right? As we journey into the future and become more established, certain businesses may be worth holding on to, right? Because I think to some people it's it's like, they get caught up in the idea of, like, if we don't own things, then we don't really have say or power or whatever. But it's a common practice in business. Like, most businesses, there's two things you can be. You can be the company that's acquired, or you can be the company doing the acquiring. It's big bank take little bank. That's just what business is. So it's like you're the companies that that have gotten the first mover position and have established themselves globally and have huge resources. They can go and make sure that they're keeping their position in the market. It's very, 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 very difficult for minority businesses to play that role. Now, I believe that we can get there, at some point, but I believe that we're in a phase now where we're really just trying to build the wealth. Now let me show you how an acquisition works. So if somebody were to, when somebody acquires Benson, I would also still run the company. When a company acquires, they want to make sure that the company's still being run correctly. So I would still be, the face of the company, still running the company. But the investors would be paid out. I would have made a lump sum of capital, and but I would still be in the forefront, and there would be some sort of non-compete, for a number of years. But I'm 32 years old now. Still have God willing, a lot of life ahead of me. So we do an acquisition in 3 to 4 years. I'll be 36. By that time, there'll probably be like a 2-year non-compete on top of that. So I could still go out and do something in a similar space, maybe even start a higher end watch company to serve a different a different demographic. So I think that not abandoning smart business is good for our community. I think that relinquishing control is kind of a soft spot, but it's important to understand like the end goal, which is to build wealth. Like, we're here to make money. We're here to grow our money, and hopefully keep it within our community. I think that's a more important thing. So we can spend it in our community, but we can sell, right? Like, and selling one business doesn't mean that that Black owner won't own another Black owned business. So it's really just a acquisition is a means of like maximizing your return on investment from a company. That's how entrepreneurs really get paid, is by acquisition. So I hope that answers your question.
I think it did. I think it was a good answer. And then Sarah said, can you remind us on when you'll open up your pre-orders?
Pre-orders will be open April 15th.
April 15th. Perfect. All right. So Tiffany had a final question. And because I don't believe we got the recording of you working the chart and showing us about the return, we can do this one of two ways. You can take us back through that, or you can tell me where because I can't remember where I saw the video where you did it. I can't remember if I was on your page or the Benson Watch page.
Yeah.
So if you can even tell us where you did that assessment, and then we can send the Tiffany, and then on the replay, people can go to that and watch it again.
Absolutely. You can definitely just follow me on Instagram at Benson Watch, BENSON Watch. And you can just go through my videos, and you'll see a video called "How You Make Money," and then the subtitle is "Investment Math." And you just click on that, and it's me right here in my living room, just walking you through the flip chart as well, just showing you the different scenarios, the target, how many shares your investment will convert to, and you'll have all the details. And and also, if you guys connect with me on Instagram, if there's anything else, I usually get back to people within 48 hours. You can just shoot me a message on Instagram. I definitely love to connect and answer whatever questions weren't answered tonight.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go through our perk one time so that everybody can understand what Barry has put on the table for us, right? So if you invest in Benson Watch Company within the next 48 hours, he is going to send you a free watch. It is going to be the red, right? The red face. So you can't pick your own. He's going to pick it for you. He's going to pick the gift for you. It's the red face with the it's a gold band, right?
Yeah, gold band.
Okay. So red face. I feel like I want to go grab it so they can see it. Hold on.
Okay.
And while Tawana's doing that, I found the Instagram video, everybody. I am putting it in the chat. I found the Instagram video, so I am putting it in the chat. And I'll make sure It's also in the newsletter for everyone as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. So I'm not playing with y'all when I tell you I got these watches. Hold on. So let's see. Let me see if I can get my light right. Is that a good picture of it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, guys. It really, really is. So that's the watch you're going to get for free, right? You're going to send info at the 10K project an email after you invest. You're going to send me your full name, your real name, right? I don't want your social media handle, your real full name, whatever name you gave to Republic when you register to invest. That's the name I want. And I also want the email you use at Republic. Yeah, your government name.
Government name.
Right, government name, right. And I want the email you use to invest as well. That way, when we send that list over, Barry can easily match, right? Because he needs to verify, right? That our list is authentic, right?
Yeah.
That if
This
you
is
say
this
you
is
invested,
exclusive.
you actually invested.
Yeah, I have to verify because like there will be other people investing, from other platforms and stuff like that. And like I said, 10K is the only one that's getting this offer. So, if they didn't see it in this video, like I don't want y'all to go tell your friends like, hey, we got a free watch, go invest. It's only happening for you. Like I said, this is an in the moment thing. I was just, really loving the energy here, loving, the questions and stuff like that. And I just really felt like this is where I wanted to do it. So, yeah, just wanted to make sure, like, you got to verify, got to make sure that, indeed you guys were here on this, on this call.
Yeah. And Anonymous says, is the gift for investing only in men? So this watch, so most of these watches, I'll be honest, when I ordered them, I just ordered them because of how beautiful they were. I didn't really think men, woman, because they really look unisex to me.
It's a unisex piece, right?
Yeah, they really are. So it's this watch. I didn't select men or woman on the website.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. It comes in one size. It is a unisex piece. That particular piece. The Untitled collection is as more of a male centric watch, but the Cardinal collection, which is the the one that you have up there, they're all unisex. They come with 37, 39 or 37 37 millimeter casing, so it looks good. It can look a little oversized for a woman, and it can look more subtle on a man's wrist. So it works. You can also check out the the Instagram page to see what it looks like on a woman's wrist and a man's wrist as well, to kind of give you a little bit more perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. I see a question. Is the band adjustable? Excuse me. Yes, the band is adjustable. It actually will come.
Oh, it comes with that little neat tool.
Yes. I wonder if I don't actually have it in this particular box, but it comes with a let me see if this one has it in here. Okay. Yeah, these are like demo pieces, but it comes with a little.
We get a job at Benson Watch, y'all. I'm gonna go get the little tool so he can show you.
Yeah, I truly appreciate Tawana. Like, she's definitely showing up. But yeah, it comes with a little tool, which you'll see in a second. And you literally just take that tool. It'll also be some instructions in there. You take the tool. There we go.
A little mini screwdriver.
Yep.
It really looks like a little screwdriver.
Yep. And you just put it through the hole. You lift up put it through the hole, and then you can adjust it to your wrist size, and then you just close that right up, and then you clip it on, and you're good to go.
All right. I feel like I did my Vanna White thing, right? This has been awesome. We went a little long. Thank you to the 100 of you that stayed with us through this.
Man,
this
so much fun.
Awesome. Vanna Black. There you
Vanna
go.
Black.
I love you guys. This community means everything to me. I love that we can lift Black founders like Barry up and hold them in our arms and keep them tight, become consumers and investors if our heart is content with that. But the goal is that we are doing this together, right? We don't have to keep begging for money. We got this. We can take care of our own. And so thank you so much, Barry, for opening your heart and your pocket, because giving away gifts cost money. And so thank you for that, for believing in 10K in this community as well, and for coming to us and sharing such an amazing project with us. Cherie, I love you. I forgive you for not hitting record earlier. So
I appreciate the forgiveness. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Cherie.
Great. Have a good evening, everyone. See you next week, 8 p.m. The next week's Bet on Black pitch is our first woman first woman entrepreneur is next week. So see
Awesome.
you all back next week.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Enjoy.